never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive.
The first NIL signing to be an NXT champion, which is the NXT North American Championship. He was the first breakout tournament star from the NIL to win the breakout tournament. And a lot of people thought he was definitely going to wait in the cups for the NXT champion. But listen, greatness waits for no one. When an open opportunity comes, it comes. If Lexis King could sit here and go on WordPad and create that dumbass contract, because who the hell put him in the number one contendership fight in the first place?
Not even Microsoft Word.
He tried it. Notepad. He tried it. Like, how you going to try and do that? And it's like, it's just a part of him being a menace. But what I liked, right, was that Obafemi was trying to make himself known. And Lexis came out, blame you. You should have never cut the man off. Because now he's watching. And now he's saying that the minute that, and it's funny, because the minute that he asked Homegirl, that championship is the main event for the night. I already knew in his brain, because you know that's the brother. What's going on, everybody? Whew. It was a little bit of delay. I had to get myself together for all you lovely people that are watching. But as always, the show is on and will go on tonight because we are recovering from probably one of the most epic and most important NXT Roadblocks that happened last week. I'm so excited to jump into it. I'm so excited. The chat is already buzzing, as I see a lot of people have already entered the chat. I'm going to shout all you lovelies in a minute. Hey, Jermaine. Hey, Ricardie. Hey, Matt. Hey, other Matt. If wherever you're watching, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, our X on shout out to Twitter, because our numbers on Twitter have jumped through the roof, and I'm happy to see it. I love to see it. I love to see all your amazing comments and your amazing jokes in the comment section. But we got a whole lot to crack in, get into business. But as per usual, without further introduction, it is always your honorary wrestling girl, Ciando B, coming to you live from her studio. As you can see, we got a whole new setup here. We're trying to change the vibe. I had to do a little Amazon search. For those of you who know me, I have an Amazon store. I was like, what can I do to make this more festive, more fun, more cute, more me? And I always like the lights on me, so more lights on me. So shout out to Amazon for providing these amazing lights. Tells it a little hot in here, I'm not gonna lie, but to make it look so good for y'all to watch, because I do everything for you guys. I make sure my makeup's on point. I make sure the camera's on point, the audio. I'm perfectionist because you guys tune in with me. So I'm gonna continue to be perfect for y'all. But it is another exciting episode of Watch What Happens NXT. And like I said, Roadblock was probably the most fun I've had watching a show live on any streaming channel than I've ever had in a long time. And I'm so glad. I want to shout out to the dynamic duo that I know and love, as always, those wrestling girls. Shout out to Queen PR and Chris B for pulling up with your girl and watching the whole thing happen. We had so much fun. We basically talked so much smack, but we're gonna get into it all. And as you know, those wrestling girls, they debut an episode weekly. The recent episode from Emilio Sparks is still up. If you have not caught that, a lot of gems. And speaking of Emilio Sparks, like, if y'all have not seen the lineup for Wale Mania, and if you're still guessing on whether or not you should buy a ticket, shame on you. Speaking of which, I know my guy will be in the building. Hey Cornell, how are you, my dear? I hope all these people are in the building. Jermaine, shout out to Jermaine. Rakarsha, baby, how are you? Happy belated birthday to Rakarsha, by the way. Happy belated birthday. I know on this side we were celebrating Chris B's birthday. It was a turn up. Might have had forgotten that it was daylight savings time and we lost a whole hour, but it was worth losing the hour. So I hope you had an amazing birthday. Matt, I already know Matt's ready, because Matt's ready to talk about what I know I want to talk about. So many points I want to talk about. There's so much going on. Matt from YouTube, welcome in. And I know everybody's slowly pouring in, but hi honey. I know there's so much that has to be talked about, because it was a lot. Speaking of talking about that, there is just going to give the heads up. Our lovely Those Wrestling Girls are going to be in Boston for a big night, a big boss night. So there will not be an episode of Fan Club tomorrow, but we will be doing a special one on Thursday. And our next topic will be announced, so look out for that very soon. Also, if you've not tapped into Schooling Sessions yet, Schooling Sessions is worth the watch. I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know what you do on a Friday night. It's at 4:00 with Krista Cantradas, and Pablo Dadan. They always talk about the funniest things. Sometimes it's wrestling related. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's weird facts that you never knew that you knew about the internet, or your favorite wrestler, or I don't know, your favorite podcaster. Even me. There's weird facts about me that I spill on there sometimes when I show up. So all these things that those wrestling girls have going on, of course, me truly. If you did not see my announcement on Twitter, I will tonight be on Championship Culture via the Wrestling Realm with my guy Brandon, and we are going to be talking about the NXT Championship, and it's Women's History Month. So Brandon hit me up and decided, listen, we need to talk about the Women's Championship at NXT. We also need to talk about the tag team titles, because the tag team titles at NXT have an importance that a lot of y'all don't know about. So I'm ready to dive into that too. So many things we're going to talk about. I love the look of the NXT Women's Championship, and it has such a long lineage, from Paige being the first ever champion and the youngest, to someone as dynamically talented. And I love Shayna Baszler. She's the oldest. And the one of the longest reigns is Asuka. I can't wait to talk about it all. It's a long night for me. The chat is bumping. Colonel, we're going to talk because we already had this conversation. You already know the vibes. So we're going to talk, but just stay tuned because I have a huge announcement. I can't let the announcement go. Everybody's been asking me, messaging me. So many of you want to be on the show. Give me time. Give me grace. I got a lot of things planned. I have a lot. Dylan. All my favorite people in the chat. I know you're waiting on me. I'm a procrastinator. What do you want me to do? There's so much going on. Your girl is definitely making a huge announcement, and I am amped up for Stand Deliver. Y'all already know Roadblock just ending. There's so much to go into. There's so much building on it. A lot of things happened that I was waiting for happen. I did end up twerking on live feed that night, and I apologize for anybody who saw things they weren't supposed to see. You might have saw a little bit of skin. You might have saw a little bit of the booty that I do got. But Trick came back, so I had to do my dance. I had to do my little dancey dance. Like y'all know how I am. I had to whoop that Trick. But we're gonna tap right into it. But right now, I'm going to just give y'all a little clip while I get everything perfect and beautiful for you guys, and I will be right back. So stay tuned. Y'all stay put. Think that any African American or anybody even of Latino descent, because shout out to Dominic and Driving Lee, and even Damian Priest had it at one point, if I'm not mistaken. Damian Priest was also the North American champion at one point. And look at where he is now. He's senior Money in the Bank, an undisputed tag team champ. Look at what all these accomplishments can do for somebody with the North American championship. So let's not think about it as they don't want to give us anything but that. Let's think about it as this is a stepping stone, and it should be treated like a stepping stone. Y'all, like, you don't understand right now. WWE's in a place where they're fighting to put respect on all their belts, which is why you have Gunther being the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship of all time. We're having arguments about Roman Reigns possibly beating Hogan's record. We had one of the longest reigning undisputed tag team champions in the Usos. You have now Logan Paul carrying the US Championship. Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania will be, for the first time, the first women's full year WWE champion. You have Io Sky, who can possibly carry this up to SummerSlam should what we think is going to happen at WrestleMania. We're trying to put legitimacy on all the belts, and I feel like the North American Championship deserves that same respect. So, unfortunately, the North American Championship was not defended at Roadblock, respectfully so. Obafemi's been putting in so much work. He's been working. Like, he's been rounding up the troops. He said, send anybody you want, don't send anybody you want back. So it takes a lot of people, but tonight I'm excited because I believe tonight he has a match against Jensen, which Jensen has worked his way up. Let's not sleep on Jensen. He's been working. I know if his bar brothers slapped him enough to want that opportunity, but he's been working. So we're going to dive into a new segment that I decided to start. And it's kind of to wrap up everything in one sound before I dive into this huge Roadblock card that just happened. And we're actually going to conduct some backstage business. Yes, on Watch What Happens NXT, we can't forget about the little stuff that goes on backstage. We got to dive into it all a little bit. We got to dissect it because some of the stuff that happens backstage, honestly, it means something. I don't care what anyone thinks. People think they're little segments. They mean a lot. So we're going to dive into it. Of course, a lot of them have to do with a lot of matches. So I'm going to be dabbling back and forth to a couple of these few points. Honestly, I think these backstage segments for Roadblock were really good. Of course, one of them, which is the one in the middle, gave us a match. And it was Riley Osborne talking to Fallon about what went wrong with Thea Hale. And let's be real, I'm diving so hard into this Chase U. Like, I like how involved Chase U is getting. Like, they've not had a dull moment. Every NXT, there's something going on with them. There's something going on with them. There's always something up with them. I don't know whether it's between the bamboozling of the money, between them literally almost losing Thea, to them getting JC to get on their side and sell calendars to keep the school open. It's always something. And one of the something that's going on is that Thea clearly has a crush on Riley. Clearly, she went on a date with him, but then she decides to listen to her friends. And she said, they told her, don't be too eager, but be eager. And she kind of took it the wrong way and was not eager enough. So again, I was disappointed we didn't get a backstage segment when it came to the Valentine's Day dip. They used to do really good segments on NXT. I don't know if anybody remembers like the 2.0 or the original NXT, like before it started going back to this brand. I guess they're trying to steer away from like those funny segments or out of place segments. But they did it with Von Wagner and the kids and stuff like that. But they didn't do it with this Valentine's Day date, which I guess they probably thought it was too much or it was cut. Things happen. Don't know. Not so sure. But literally, Fallon, being the nice person that she is, stepping up, talking to him, and was like, listen, she might have not taken advice from the right people. I agree, because JC kind of is leaving her hang out to dry. And then you get Blair Davenport, who's like, you're wasting your time on Thea Hale, and interrupts Fallon. And that led to a match that happened at Roadblock. Sorry. We're going to dive into that a little bit more because I thought that match was really good. And also it literally gave access to a very big return. Obviously you see Soroko up there. I'm so excited she's back. I'm so excited she's back. So excited. Can't wait. Hope she has a match to stand deliver. Even if she doesn't, I just like her back on my screen. Like, I just like her back. I like that all the people that, you know, Blair Davenport decided to run up on the parking lot like she was about that life. I think, well, honestly, I think Blair Davenport is about that life. Let's just be honest. All the people she decided to blockade into the corner and catch outside, and they all coming back for their lick. Let's put it that way. So I'm excited to see all that happen. What else? Sorry, a little technical difficulty right there. But another thing I was eager to see happen that I finally did see happen. Vaughn, what is going on? Yes, and you know what's funny, Dylan? I was laughing. I was actually laughing because I was like, where did Blair Davenport, where you come? Knowing this whole arc is going on. Like I said, I try to stay in kayfabe with the kayfabe. I'm not gonna really indulge on stuff that's going on backstage, but I found it funny she would step in a conversation about Thea and Riley, knowing she's engaged to Riley. But congratulations to them. I'm glad they're able to keep it on a professional note. But basically, they had a match, and then you also had some things that tied into last week that happened. Like, for example, JCJ and Jasmine are doing their little thing where they're leaving Thea in the dirt. Like, they're not having her back the way they said they would have her back. They literally are leaving this girl high and dry. Don't know if I love it that much, but it's making great TV. I feel like that's gonna go somewhere, especially this week. But Thea got tired after the match again, which I'm going to dive into. But I'm going to dive more into the tag team match. I'm going to dive into that backstage session. Basically, after everything that happened, Thea got into it with two of the meanest girls on her roster right now, being Kiana James and Izzy Dame, and basically said, hey, after that fight I just had with them, by the way, I kind of got a tag team match with them next week. And JC, I kind of need you. And JC was like, me? Like, why do you need me? I didn't fight with you just now. You did this on your own. You took the advice I gave you wrong. You're on your own. And that's not something we expected from JC, especially after the connection they built. Like, she's the reason why Thea's on her. I'm a grown ass woman. Like, I'm a big girl now, and all this other stuff that's going on. And you just leave your girl hanging, which is weird. And then I feel like with Jasmine being there, it was just like, Jasmine's like, yeah, I agree. Like, girl, no one asked you. I was just like, who is involving you? No one asked you. No one. So they were kind of like, you know, deuces, girl, you're on your own, figure it out. That was interesting to see. And also another interesting thing to see, which I'm so happy that actually happened, was that Luca Crucifino has joined the family, which is perfect because a lot of people have been sleeping on Crucifino. If y'all don't watch, we're going to get into NXT Level Up. If y'all don't watch Crucifino, like, Crucifino is really, really good. Like, he's a talented wrestler. I like his gimmick. I really, really like his gimmick. I like that he's able to go in with the cutoff suit and rip it off when he about business. It was like a sleeveless suit. I think he wore his match last week with Dijak, which I was really impressed about. He did really good to me. Like he took the beating from Dijak, but also he showed a lot of leverage. He showed a lot of like technique. I like him, but he was on the level up. He was like stuck in the level up limbo a little bit. And I'm glad that now he's in the stable that he belongs, which is with Tony D'Angelo, with Stacks, with Rezzo in the family. It's going to make perfect sense. Like I said, it looks like these factions are growing in numbers. You know, No Quarter Catch Crew now has the Heritage Cup in their possession. You have Out the Mud. Like I said, we're going to get into Level Up a lot because I really did enjoy the match with Reggie. Sorry, his name is not Reggie anymore. It's Scripps. My apologies. I really enjoyed that match. It's just a lot of these tables growing, and it's gonna mean something for the tag team championship, especially going into Stand and Deliver now that Chase U didn't secure the bag from the Wolf Dogs. Is gonna mean something for all these stables to be tag team champions. Obviously, if Tony D'Angelo was going after the NXT championship, Stacks, the underdog, the underboss, now has Crucifino on his side. So all that and more, so much to go into that. Another thing to go in tonight, we're going to have a match, and this is a new storyline that's starting with Gigi Dolan. Everybody's been waiting for Gigi to get a chance. I know, shout out to Stephanie Hardy, who did a whole, if you do not watch the Hardy show, the Hardy podcast, please do, because she actually made really good points as to why they keep Gigi Dolan in limbo. And it disappoints me sometimes too, because Gigi Dolan has it all too. Like she started on the Mae Young Classic when she was still Priscilla Kelly. She was one half of a tag team champion with JC Jane in Toxic Attraction. And ever since Toxic Attraction broke up, she's kind of been left in these segments, kind of like, you know, when they put people with new people and get them to wrestle, which is good. It's good for her. She's exposed, but I feel like she's not getting the recognition full face that she deserves. So after her match with Jada Parker was interrupted last week by Ariana Grace was literally like, it's not like I don't like you, it's just I don't like your style. I think you're a beautiful young woman, which no, listen, Gigi's a baddie. I'm sorry, she's a baddie. Like, if they ever want to bring back the baddie section, just put her in there. Like, she's a baddie. She was like, you just need to clean up a bit, like the mouth, the clothes. Like, I just want to bring out your true woman beauty. Don't know why Ariana Grace feels like she needs to be in a Sephora advisor at this point. I don't know. I don't understand it. But I want to see where it goes. It is interesting. But Gigi went back to general manager Ava and was like, listen, I ain't even about to fight. Like, I want to punch her for getting my business. And so they kind of made a wager, and Ariana was like, I don't want to fight you, but I will fight you if you promise me that when I beat you, you let me give you a makeover and turn you into a brand new person. Which, if this is the way we're gonna get if we're gonna get Gigi Dolan on our screen, so it be it. It is what it is. I'm interested again to see where it goes. And Ava kind of agreed, like, you know what, it wouldn't be bad. Like, maybe just give her a chance. Like, if you beat her, you get what you want. You punched her in the face and you handled business. And if you don't, she gets what she wants and turn you into a brand new woman or whatever she's trying to turn you into. Speaking of a brand new person, Noam Dar. I roasted him last week. I was very mean to him the show before he had his match with Charlie Dempsey. I was very mean to him, and I said he wasn't taking the Heritage Cup seriously at all. And I take it back now because he looks so sad on the couch. For Messi to be like, call legend, it was like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what to do. Like, he's so upset, like I like he's just stuck on the couch, he's just there. And Lash is like, you leave, I'll figure it out. And she flipped the hat, she had his back, and he was like, Lash, like, because Lash has been missing. Of course, we know Lash has been doing her own thing. Yes, I love seeing Lash on my screen. Vaughn, what's going on, my love? How you doing? I love seeing Lash on my screen, but I love Metaphor too, so it's kind of hard. Nobody's really getting what they want in the crew. Like, Lash is trying to be champion, she's not quite there yet. Jakara is being a baddie. They didn't bring her on my screen enough for her to be a baddie to slay this week. It is what it is. Message is there. I told everybody, I think he's Aura's useless. Like, what kind of wingman are you to let him lose that championship or not bring the crew back together, at least so Noam Dar can keep it? He just looks so sad. Like, But he was lifted in spirits, of course, when he saw Lash and everything got together, and it was interesting. Yeah, Dylan, you're right. It was interesting to see that Jakara wasn't there, which I don't know what was going on. She didn't even have a match this week on Level Up. So it was interesting to see. It's going to be interesting going forward what goes on with them. Another thing that was interesting to me was that he said that it's time for the meta future. So I'm waiting to see what that happens. Like I said, I mentioned Wale Mania. They're supposed to be, now they were just announced for Wale Mania. My apologies. A lot of people have been announced for Wale Mania. I can't wait to run into them. Can't wait to meet them. Can't wait to apologize to Noam Dar for doubting him in the Heritage Cup thing. I feel so bad. But this, all the backstage business was good. It leads into what's going on tonight. Like I said, we're going to probably hear from Noam Dar since he's lost the championship, probably going to try and get it back. Going to see Gigi Dolan and Ariana Grace go head to head. We're probably going to see Silla Rocco and Blair Davenport go butt heads. It's going to be like, in the words of, shout out to Keeks, it might be women business night tonight, because all these matches, all these women stuff, it sounds like women's business tonight. It sounds like a whole lot of women mess going on tonight, but I'm here for it. Again, excited to see what's going on. The family is now extended. All this backstage women business, all this backstage business that's going on, I'm excited. Rakarsha, I agree 1,000%. I feel like Gigi, I feel like they don't know what to do with her. She's good for your game. She's good for, being entertaining. I don't know if they know how to use her, which is sad to say it like that. But I think that's what it is. I hope they figure it out, because again, Gigi Dolan's really good at what she does. They need to just work with it, figure it out. But I also remember, like, individual wise, Lash Legend was in the same boat. Like when 2.0 started, she was a part of the Lash Lounge. She was tall. She had that big feud with Nikita Lyons. She was confronting the male and the female superstar. So it's probably just a moment of, we don't know what's going on with them. We don't know what's going to go on with them when they're part of a big staple, because Toxic Attraction basically ran the women's division down there. So it's a part of that we don't know. We'll figure it out and we'll bring it back type thing. A lot of people want them back together. Not a bad idea. But at this time, they're both dived into two very different storylines. No, I don't want to see Toxic Attraction again. I feel like Toxic Attraction is one of those things where it was great when it happened, and it's good that it's gone. There's no need to revive that. If they want to become a different stable, a different name, great. I'm fine with it. But Jason J is forever toxic, and it seems like Gigi is too, to be honest, because for her to go back to general manager was like, I want to punch her. Like, she was like, I want to open hand smack her. Like, it just seems like the both of them have never truly lost their I want to say. So let's see what happens. I don't know. But again, I don't want Toxic Attraction 2.0. I don't want that. Don't need it. Don't care. You can argue with me. Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama, argue with your friend, argue with the internet wrestling community. I don't want Toxic Attraction back. I don't think it's necessary. I think the both of them will thrive back on their own. They just have to find their footing. And on that note, we're going to dive into Roadblock. So, of course, like I said, I had to stand up and do my little dancey dance because my homie came back, Mr. Trick Williams himself. But there were so many other great things that happened. I'm going to get into a in-ring segment that happened before I get into all the matches and deep dive my analysis in there, but continue to interact with the chat. I see a lot of people on X. Unfortunately, if you see me looking at my phone, I'm going to try and see if anybody leaves a comment on that platform. So if you see me doing this and this and this and the third and tapping into my phone, is because I'm trying to get the questions on all platforms. But I thank you all for tuning in. I bless you all for tuning in, because it's not easy, like, especially before the show to start. There's a lot. It's going to be a long show. And like I said, I also have another show going live with Championship Culture. So if you're not into watching NXT yet, if you're on the West Coast and you can't see NXT yet, don't be afraid to tap into that channel also. So without further ado, we're going to dive into the return of the man I feel like is the grandfather of NXT. A lot of you love him. I adore him. Mr. Regal came back because, of course, his son, and the crowd did not let y'all forget that. He said, "That's your daddy." They said, that's your father." I love the crowd. I can't like anybody willing to travel to Florida to go to a live NXT show. I heard it's really easy. I just need to be in the building. Like I just because they're so funny. Like the whole thing was hilarious. I didn't even let him get a word in because okay, dog, we know you your daddy's son. But let the segment cook. And I like how no quarter catch crew, like I said, when I talked about Charlie Dempsey being the first to go to weaken Noam Dar to possibly get the cup, or I feel like Drew Gulak is gonna have to defend that cup. Now that they confirmed that all of them are here to defend the cup, which is great. It's great. I like it. It shouldn't be Charlie Dempsey doing all the work. If it's a tough opponent, you send Charlie in. You even send Gulak in. If it's somebody you ain't going to take seriously, you can send Miles in. You can send Kemp in. You can send anybody you want in. They said that they know that it's Charlie's win, but they all are in it to protect the cup, which is what was missing in Metaphor, which is what, when Tyler Bates had it, he didn't have that advantage. When Nathan Frazier had it, he didn't have that advantage. Like it's now really 4 men holding that cup. It's theirs. But William Regal came out. Of course, he played a huge part in the cup being a thing back at NXT UK. He basically said, listen, this cup holds a lot of lineage. It holds a lot of history behind it, and your job now is to protect that cup. But if y'all see that guy in the back on the right hand corner with that face, I should have gotten the picture after what Charlie Dempsey basically set up that whole thing. He said, "I'm going to protect this cup better than you ever did." And I'm like, boy, if you don't listen, I don't even wish to talk back to my parents that way, because if we did, you might be watching me do this from the parking lot. That's just me. But sometimes you gotta tell your parents to butt out. Excuse me. You gotta tell your parents to butt out. Primarily from Charlie Dempsey, I feel like with Charlie, he's done a lot more than people are giving him credit for. So I feel like within that being said, he's kind of like, Daddy, I don't need advice from you. Like, not for nothing, I've been doing this fine without you being here, and I'm going to do great whether you're here or not. And for someone who's like, I feel like with William Regal returning a lot, we saw him, the last time we saw him before this was him, Ava, and Shawn Michaels having that meeting that made Ava the GM, and she had a lot of wise words for him. And we see those wise words going in an interesting direction for Ava, because she's been tested so many times. She's probably going to keep getting tested. It's not an easy job. She's probably losing like some hair in the back because of everything that's going on. There's so much to dive into William Regal's role at NXT, but everybody loves William. Everybody likes seeing him there. But this interaction with them, especially him saying also fee, fi, fo, fum. And y'all know what comes after that. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Like his son might be that blood that holds the titles together. It was just interesting for that confrontation. It needed to happen really bad, because let's just get all the feelings out the way. Let's just get the fact that this is happening. Very happy to see him, Charlie Dempsey. I'm excited to see more from No Cutter Catch Crew. I'm excited to see what they do with the Heritage Cup, because I feel like we're in a whole different league. I feel like the jokes are over. Metaphor was a great comedic relief when it came to that, but the jokes are done. Like now the boys are about business. So that was an interesting segment to happen. Gonna dive right into another thing that happened. Like I said, it was an impromptu match. Gonna dive into the matches real quick. This wasn't too bad of a match. I feel like this was more to showcase Fallon Henley being one of the new top girls for the NXT division, possibly a future NXT Women's Champion. She deserves it. She's been there since day one. Like I said, Tiffany was her first dance partner, one of her best dance partners, to be honest. But now she needs a new dance partner because Tiffany is on the SmackDown roster. So she went up against Blair Davenport. Very good match, very technical match, very aggressive, a little bit more of an aggressive side from Fallon Henley this time. So I guess to match what Gigi Dolan's aggression has always been. You guys can agree with me or not in the comments. That's how I felt about the entire thing. One thing that I did notice was that Blair would get the upset a little bit more than Fallon. It was looking like Fallon was going to lose this one, but again, like I said, Soroko showed up, excited the hell out of me. I was like, oh, yay, she's back. If you were watching the live show with me, I was like, her brace was there. She was out 9 months on an ACL, on a knee injury. A lot of girls were out on knee injury. I guess those knee injuries were that whole storyline with Blair Davenport. They used that to take a lot of the girls out because like 3 people were injured at the same time. I believe it was her. I believe it was Nikita Lyons. And I also believe Wendy Chu. Wendy Chu is still out. Don't know when she's coming back. Hopefully she comes back too soon because I actually like her. Very talented wrestler. But a lot of the girls that were out on injury are now back. So with some still being injured and being out, a lot of them are coming back. I'm excited to see that. She said that she had 9 months to think about what Gigi did to her. And now she's back. Like I said, she's here to get her lick back. It is what it is. Homegirl wanted to jump people in the parking lot. People want their lick back. Like it is what it is. I don't know. A lot of people want to stick Fallon in that. I don't think Fallon needs to be tied. I hope, you know what? Let's be really honest about it. I hope not, because I'm tired of and it's not a women's thing, it's a wrestler's thing. I'm tired of I'm jealous, so now I'm gonna turn a certain way type storyline when it comes to wrestling. I do want Soroko and Ren Sinclair to have a really good match. I feel like that's gonna be a good match on the line. But that also tells about heel face. They're not doing a real great job at heel face in NXT. They're trying. The most intense heel face you have right now is the Carmelos and the Dijaks. I still don't know where the Wolf Dogs fall into play. Right now, Corbin and Braun are having the time of their lives. They're having fun. I think that's probably where the OC came into play because they need a heel to go up against. Now that the Good Brothers are down in NXT, that's probably something that's going to happen. It's a lot of we don't know yet. There was a lot of confirmations that happened. One of them I'm going to dive into after I dive into this match because this was interesting to see. You had Shawn Spears return back to action against the local competitor, and that local competitor was actually Uchan Connors, who y'all don't know, that is David Finley's son. Like Finley. That's Finley's kid. So if y'all want to go and announce that, that's your daddy, don't expect Finley to come out on stage. But it was good to see his son finally in action. I know he's a wrestler now. He's a very good wrestler. Took a beating from Shawn Spears, to be honest. Didn't know how I felt about that at the time, but I was like, when I found out who it was, I was like, okay, at least he's getting like spotlights, so you know who he is. I'm liking Shawn Spears like this, like the vignettes make sense. The way he is, he's kind of like mysterious, anonymous. He's kind of like when you're a heel, you're in a peaceful place because you don't have to pretend that you're something you're not and make everybody like you and force everybody to like pay attention to you because you want. It was far from it. I was excited to see that. Of course, it was quick, and then it led to Shawn Spears basically calling out Rich Holland, saying, "I know you're back there. I know you have these demons inside of you. I know you want to rage. Like, I'm right here. Come rage on me." Which listen. The whole like beat me, submit, like let me like help you submit to who you are thing is great. Too soon for me. I'd rather Shawn Spears kind of torment Rich just a little bit longer because Rich is gonna flip. He's already on the border of it. He's already there. And I feel like there's so much more into how Ridge is feeling than just the I have to fight for my family and I'm so frustrated. But like, just come out, say it with your whole chest. You are mad. You are angry. You are bitter. You are pissed. You've been here this long. You've been at NXT UK. You've been with people. People have been trying to restrain you, trying to hold you back, trying to hold you for what you are. Just admit that. And I think that's what Sean Spears is trying to do. I'm not mad that that's what he's trying to do, but I'm also a little frustrated that it's going to take a lot longer. It's going to. If they announce that him and Rich Holland have a match like next week, expect another best out of 3, like the one we just had with Dijak and Joe Gacy, which I'm gonna get into. Because I feel like that's gonna be a good match. I feel like that's gonna probably lead them into a partnership, hopefully, because that's where I feel like it needs to go. Like, I know they're trying to make Ridge the big single guy that can lift things up and put them down, but some people just work better as a tag team. It's not something that's bad to admit. It's not something that's ugly to admit. It's something that works for a lot of the wrestlers. Like, we get that for example, Big E, love him as a single competitor. So much better with the New Day. So much entertainment with the New Day. Another person that I could think right off of my head that's really good in a tag team, even though it's just as good an example, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is great by himself. He's a performer. He's doing great on SmackDown. He's one of the quickest, the fastest, the strongest they got. But y'all have to admit, this thing with the Wolf Dogs, him being a part of a tag team, is something that needed to happen, because I crack on him so much and I feel so bad because I say he was vanilla. He's not vanilla anymore. That boy is a fudge. Like, he is track mousse ice cream. Like, he's giving you mint chocolate chip one moment, he's giving you like extreme cookies and cream. Like, he's just giving you flavor now. He's giving you strawberry, he's giving you Napoleon, he's giving you a Napoleon ice cream. There you go. He's not just vanilla, he's chocolate and strawberry on opposite sides. And it's like, finally, it took you for you to be in a tag team with somebody you didn't like, for you to finally show personality. Because when you came in, you was fresh-faced, you was shaved, you came in with the promos, and you were trying to get the crowd to go, and some people just wasn't falling for it because they were still thinking you your daddy's son. Then you became heel, and you started insulting rednecks, and you were still losing, which pisses me off till this day. Didn't understand that. It took for you to be in a tag team, for people to finally be like, nah, like, we got you. Like, we fucks with you hard. And that's what we're gonna dive into. We're gonna dive into this tag team match, what happens. We had the Wolf Dogs, which is Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, going up against Chase U, which is Andrew Chase and Duke Hudson. Great match, guys. This is probably my second favorite match of the night. Obviously, because I felt like this was going to be Chase U's night. They were finally on the same page. The scandal behind them had people backing them up. When it came to ringside, they had Jasmine, they had JC, they had Thea round them up. But, you know, it's the Wolf Dogs. Like, they can't. And you see what I mean? Like, even looking at that top picture, like, they are starting to match. 1 minute, they're rolling out on motorcycles together. The next, they're wearing matching wolf masks. I'm sold. Sold. You won me over. You're never going to hear me listen, I told people the Wolf Dogs would work. Mark my words. I told Josh, shout out to Gersh. I told him, listen, the name is going to stick. It's going to work. This is going to be a thing that gets him back on the main roster. He does not need, despite what people who say they don't care about wrestling, but they talk about wrestling way too much to say they don't really care about wrestling, or there's more to life than wrestling, saying that he needed his dad's name in order to succeed. This shows he does not. Yes, he's having a hard time grappling with the fans because his technique is old school. His technique is his dad's technique without him even needing to mention that he's a Steiner. A lot of people didn't even know he was a Steiner until Corey brought it up during commentary and during his debut. That's fine, because a lot of people were trying to dive into, who are you? Like, if you're not going to do Steiner math, I really don't care who your daddy or your uncle is. Let's be real. Like, and he's already, and if you pay attention again at NXT, he's done Steiner math. He's done the gimmicks that his father does. He's using his father's moves, his uncle's moves. What more do you want? He doesn't need to say, listen, my dad was a Hall of Famer and my dad and my uncle basically. No. Don't need all that. So again, let's cut the crap. This works for him. The tag team's working for him. Baron Corbin's been a great tag team partnership. Although during the match, I noticed they were going back to their old ways. One of them wanted the pin first, shoved the other one out the way. Botched that I don't know if it was a move they had together. I wasn't sure, but it looks like Braun was going for a suplex, and then Baron came in and kind of hit him with a clothesline. I thought that was kind of messy. I didn't like where that went. It really was a scary spot to see, but I mean, it worked. It got them on top. It got them to win the match. Again, Chase and Duke always come close, but they're not going to be 2-time tag team champions just yet. It's not happening anytime soon. I don't know what they're going to do with Chase U now. I don't know if they're going to ever recover from their first tag team win and their loss as a tag team. I don't know, but JC's pretty much tired of it. She threw up the L. She gave the Bella Twins L. She was like, they're losers. Like I said last week, they're losers. Like Duke's a loser, Andrew's a loser, the whole school, they're all full of losers. And she's basically like, I saved the school. That's how I know they're losers, because they can't even save their own school. I did that. And it pissed Thea off because I feel like Thea's in a crossroad where she believed at one point what JC was saying, like she needed to be her own, she needed to be a grown-ass woman, the school's holding her back. And now she's finally seeing that she's stuck between having school spirit and being the anti-establishment, because now she's getting into fights by herself. It was interesting to see. I'm interested to see who's going to take these belts off the Wolf Dogs, because Braun, and a lot of people like Braun pulling double duty. I quite like it too, to be honest. Primarily, it needs to happen. It needs to happen. He needs to pull double duty. He needs that exposure to main roster where it's like 20,000+, and then sometimes you gotta go and put in more work. Like he looks like he's a work dog. He's a workhorse in that industry, because he's like, listen, this is a legacy I'm trying to protect. Like, I don't care about the social media stuff. I can have fun with Braun Breaker, but I'm also here to break hands and break the mold and break the floor. So again, great match. This was a good match. Just going secondly in the show, it continued the segment, like I said, of JC just trying to be like, listen, I'm trying to show you, Thea, this whole group is falling apart. Like, I don't know why you think I'm gonna stick around with this, but I did what I had to do. I saved the school. But my opinion is my opinion. They're all losers. Again, we have Stand Deliver coming up. We still got to figure out who's even going up against the Wolf Dogs, because they RVV started a new tournament. Pretty much every tag team's going to be in there. Yes, watching Braun Breaker run those ropes is probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like I said, I don't want to keep talking about Deadline, but seeing it live was a whole new, it's like, whoa. People talk about how good Braun Breaker is, and for me to see it live, I was just like, nah, that boy is all work and about action. So he ain't vanilla no more. I'm a fan, been a fan, not afraid to say it. Gonna keep going with it. Also, we're going to dive into this craziness of a match. It was the match opener. It was honestly my favorite match of the night. It was my favorite match of the night because I was just like, this is interesting, like an asylum match. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna fight in a padded room? Is it gonna be like a backstage segment? Is it gonna be like a street fight? But no, it was a cage with a whole bunch of asylum stuff that looked crazy in a ring. It worked. It was funny. It worked. It did what it was supposed to do. It was interesting. So you had Dijak and Joe Gacy, fourth match they've had together, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I think third match they've had. They're going up against each other. They had an asylum match. They were locked up because the two of them can't be 10. They can't be trusted in the NXT parking lot. They can't be trusted out in the street. They can't be trusted out on the Ave out in Orlando. They can't be trusted in Disney World. They can't be trusted nowhere where it can't be a lock and a key. So they had their match inside a steel cage with a whole bunch of stuff. It was a fire extinguisher. It was a table. It was a good, like, I need this at Halloween Havoc every year. I'm sorry. Like, it was so funny. Like, one point there was a box in there, and Dijak was interested to see who was in the box because obviously it wasn't something he put in there. And he opens the box, which I don't know why you do. Like, why is it when people see something they're not supposed to touch, they go and touch it? Carrie, don't you ever heard the name Curiosity Killed the Cat? Like, a lot of y'all would die. I mean, and it's not to be offensive. A lot of y'all would y'all be the cat that needs 9 lives, because every time y'all touch something, because you're curious, something weird happens. It was a punch hole in the box. It punched Joe Gacy in the face, divided a little bit of a distraction here and there. You also had Dijak tape Joe's face, try and put him back in the straitjacket. Listen, that match was a 10 out of 10. The only thing that disappointed me was that Dijak won, because this match was made specifically for Joe Gacy, and it just seems like they're trying to change his character. But when it comes up to Dijak, he's not winning. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, either you're gonna tame him or you're not. Like, what are we doing with this? And I like that Joe Gacy's not in a cult anymore. He's not ruling people. His crazy starting to make a lot of sense. They went back. He kind of tapped into his CZW days. Shout out to Brian H. Waters for noticing that. Tapped into his old school ways. The crowd liked it. The upside down vignette, I loved his entrance. I liked how they changed everything. He's loopy. He's crazy. This was an asylum match, meaning he deserved to win a match catered to him. And he didn't win, which is a great twist, because I don't know. Are we getting a street fight at Stand Deliver? Is this feud done? This left more questions than answers, and I like matches that leave more questions than answers. Primarily, I don't see anybody coming to save Joe Gacy. We don't know. If Sean Spears wasn't involved in trying to make Homeboy lose his shit, we probably would have seen that happen. But again, I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But I know I'm tired of Joe Gacy losing. I'm a little exhausted. It's exhausting. It's to the point where it almost seems like, again, he's in the same boat with Gigi Dolan. They don't know what to do with him. So now but this is different for him, because he's in an interesting segment with Dijak. And also, I do want to shout out, I'm going to go back to it real quick, because Dijak actually looked really good in this match. He's been good. Not saying he's like the worst talent they have, but for someone who's as good as he is, he doesn't get, I feel like when he was in old school NXT, when he was in black and gold, he was my favorite. He was one of my favorites to watch. Like, when he was using his full name, he was good to watch. He seems to be in a little bit of a revamp when it came to character, because I don't think they knew what to do with his character back then. And then he had Retribution, and Retribution didn't work out. It only worked out for certain people. Now he's back down at NXT, and I guess he's back trying to figure out who he is. But he did a really good job in this match. Athleticism, that spot off the top of the cage almost sent me out the chair when we were watching it live. Like, it was so good. And now it kind of makes me realize, okay, make points for him to win, because he's trying to prove, like, listen, I'm going to end you one and for all. And it's working. I think it's probably going to put him back. He's trying to go back into the NXT championship fold. I think he needs to go after the North American championship just to see how that's going to go. And then he could probably dive into the NXT championship. But he improved, like, he impressed me. This match is an Asylum match. Again, I need this match at Halloween Havoc. I probably would have loved to see this. This could have also been a Stand Deliver match, to be quite honest. That was another thing that bothered me just a little bit too. It could have been a Stand Deliver match. It would have made great for a Stand Deliver match. But it happened on TV. It was a great opener. It was a good match between the two. Don't know if this story is done. We'll find out tonight on NXT. Just don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. Real quick, I'm going to take a quick break before I dive into the last 2 matches. Also going to give my wrestler of the week. Also going to prove what's going on tonight. What I think is going to happen with NXT. So, again, you stay put. Stay right there. Better. I'll be back. So if it's not Malik and Idris, because Malik and Idris have been the tag team longer than Out the Mud, it's Out the Mud that's focused on getting those belts. And Scripps is going to play a powerful name into it, because he's a person that's going to sit there and make deals with Ava, who's going to get the job done is getting the name out there, who's going to make sure that if they even have to clean the locker room, he's going to set it up so that happens. So Scripps, I don't want people to count Scripps out just because I say he ain't doing enough. It was the first PLE they had. He probably wasn't scripted doing enough, but trust me, keep an eye on him. He's like Miss Jade is there to make sure that the women don't get involved. But
I agree with Dylan too.
Yeah. She too. She was real close to giving what's the name of run for her, like giving her a stack for her money. Because even that booty drop finisher she be doing, I'm like, that shit hurt. That's your rib cage, child. That's your rib cage.
That's a fact. So you want to get into the next one?
Yes, I think yep. I think this might happen. I think this might even happen at Roadblock. Because Roadblock is March 5th.
Oh, okay, yeah. I need, if it comes to a street fight, if it comes to a death match, no, we don't do death matches in WWE. If it comes to a bull rope match, if it comes to a no holds bar, I need it to be a 1980s, 1990s styles match. Like, don't put these names on it. Excuse me. Don't put these names on it if you're not going to deliver and literally give us a street fight. Literally give us a brawl.
Give us a street fight.
Give us a street fight to where there is blood, to where there is literally you throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, the stove, the racks that's in the stove, because you know they still be warm, the burners, everything. Like, don't say street fight, don't say this and that if you're not giving us that, because it literally takes away from the match, because you're hoping to see one thing and then you don't.
You're right.
NXT, I really feel like it will be different because NXT has more free reign than WWE, SmackDown, and Raw.
I'm waiting for it. I need it. Krista. What if Scripps goes for the Heritage Cup? This is why I'm telling you, don't count my boy out. Don't count him out. Because 4-on-4. Don't count him out. Don't count him out. And I told y'all, Jada got the moves to back up her mouth. If she touches, I love it here. I'm so glad.
Right, I love it here. It's the best.
Dylan, you are the MVP. You are up next in this season episode. I don't care what anyone thinks, because that just look at that.
That's amazing. Dylan, sidebar, we're still waiting on our gifts from Sound Off last week. Just saying. Pablo's really wanting their gift from what you said he's gonna make the gift out of. I can't remember right now. But yeah,
listen, come to Stand Delivering. So see, you never know what you're going to catch when you come on to watch what happens in NXT. Mr. Marvel, where have you been? Where have you been? No, ladies, honey, just me. It's me doing my own show. You missed the Mess Tone last week. You were tapped into the Mess Tone last week when we were doing a live show. But it's just me. It's just your honorary wrestling girl. The bosses have let me take over the channel. So I'm just here taking over the channel per usual. They will be back. We are working on something great before Stand and Deliver. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a packed week. So let's see if we could squeeze it in before Stand and Deliver. Might be some pre-recorded, might be something live. You never know. We're working towards it. We're going to try and work it out. But literally, it's okay. Gonna dive into what I said. Before I do that, I am going to talk about let's see. What else can I talk about? I'll talk about until Level Up real quick. Let's give Level Up their flowers, because Level Up, for the first time, I was happy to see they didn't give me any recap of Raw, because I'm not going to watch Level Up for a recap of Raw. I'm going to watch Level Up for who? The people. So we're going to tap into Level Up. What happened? You had, let's start with this match. You had Reggie go up against Dion Lennox without the mud, with Lucian and Brocco standing right in ringside. And again, I love watching scripts, so you're not going to get me to say anything bad about this match. This match is to expose you to scripts even more. I feel like they need to give my man his flowers. They're not doing that. They're not doing that with him or Cedric. They sleeping on them. You can't count them out. I feel like he's somebody also that deserves the Heritage Cup in the future. I feel like ever since what he was doing when they had the 24/7 championship, I've always been a fan of him. So you're never going to get me to dislike scripts. Even if he could change his name Scripps, Reggie, the man down the corner, I don't care what he changed his name to, you're always going to get me to like him. Point blank, period. This match was really good. I know they're trying to sell people a lot on Dion Lennox a little bit because he was also somebody who was a part of the NXT Breakout Tournament, lost in the first round. He says that when he puts on, he's made fun of as a kid for having glasses and being nerdy or whatever. So he had to do the glow up. Like he pulled the TikTok, like those challenges on TikTok that talk about glow ups. He had one of those. So he had to pull that glow up, but he keeps the glasses because the glasses remind him that how mean people can be and they make him stronger. Okay, Clark Kent, listen, whatever works for you, honey, you do that. If it works for you, it works for you. I ain't gonna down you. I ain't gonna make fun of you. The glasses seemed not to work this time because Scripps took the win. Great match, a lot of agility. Scripps is very high flying, like I said, one of the most talented high flyers on the roster. Whether he was in the mask or not, I enjoyed it. So with that being said, I'm excited to see he's probably going to do another match on Level Up. Hopefully he does another match to the main roster because he's showing that I could be the boss. I can get in the ring, get my hands dirty. Like I'm about that work. It's not just about making sure Lucian and Bronco become the new tag team champions. It's also about making sure that I'm putting all of you on notice. And now like I said, they got Jada Parker. So even her, I like how they don't go outside with her in her matches. Is something that I haven't seen happen since, when it was Lita, when she was with Team Extreme. Sometimes Jeff and Matt were not ringside with her, and she was still ringside with them. I like that. That means they have instilled faith that she's going to go out there and get the work done, which is what she's been doing. Another match that happened was Izzy Dane picking up another win. Listen, her tallness is going to work for her. She's getting more aggressive. Her win-loss record on Level Up was really high. I didn't realize how high it was. I didn't realize that she was losing a lot of her matches, but ever since she's been partnering up with Kiana James, it looks like they are trying to push her again to be the next person, because before on NXT Total, she was 9-18. Now, before she was, she was 2-18 lost. Now she's 9-18. What they're trying to do, and I hate that there's no more NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, because that would have really benefited her too, because Kiana James has been there. I know Kiana James probably isn't going for that. She's also dabbling between still being that good of a wrestler, but now she's dabbling into the management role. It's something we could see if they don't want Kiana James. Hopefully that's not the case for her. If they don't want her to be a wrestler all the time, now she could be a great manager. I mean, it works for a lot of people. It worked for Zelina Vega. I know we're used to seeing Zelina Vega. We knew Zelina Vega could always wrestle when she was a wrestler, but it ended up working out for her even when she was still a manager. She can do both, and I think that's where they're trying to go with Kiana, because for Izzy to now have her win-loss improve and to have more matches be featured, and it's not just you're my minion. Like, it's more of like a, listen, you're good, I know I'm good, I know you're good, let's make it work. And it's working on Level Up. So hopefully now they're trying to revive Izzy Dane's record. It's going to improve for her. Another good match that happened. I love this match. I don't know why Savion Heights is still sitting in the main roster. I think it's the same thing. Like, he changed his clothes, because remember, he was doing the whole unitard onesie thing this episode. They changed his clothing. And Dante Chen, he's also, a lot of people don't know. Well, he had his first match with Braun Breaker. That was his first dance partner on SmackDown. He was on the main roster. He's going back to the origin of everything he used to do. Dante Chen used to wear a lot of face paint. He's back on the face paint thing on Level Up. That was a great exhibition. It has a chance again to go to another to have another match. I feel like they should make this feud. I feel like Level Up should have little feuds here and there. It's kind of like little tit for tats to show you who's next. I know it should debut a lot of the NILs, kind of give them their little, like, shake the dust off of them a little bit. Another person that's been a favorite of mine besides Tavion Heights, who I feel like just needs to be on NXT a lot more, but I know he's still green. Tavion Heights is not green to me. They need to just put that boy back on NXT. Find him something to do. Like, put him against somebody. Like, I know it's probably again, it's a gimmick thing. They don't know what to do with him either. But he's got to find that. He's got to find that beat, that rhythm himself. And it's happening with a lot of them. I feel like they were doing the same thing when it came to Javon Evans. They finally let Javon Evans cut a promo the week before, and he was slow, he's standing, but also you have to remember he's young. He's still working on himself, but what he lacks for in promo, he's great in talent. And I feel like the same thing happens with Tavon Heights. So all in that, we're going to see what happens. Probably going to be a lot more coming up Level Up. Y'all need to watch Level Up. Listen, it comes on right after SmackDown. So if you're not sleepy, if you're not tired, if you want to see what's going on, who's new, who's coming up in the mud, sometimes they send a lot of your main roster NXT people to work on Level Up to do a pre-show. I know that's how a lot of people got exposed to Kalani Jordan, Brenly Reese. A lot of people got exposed to Fallon, because Fallon was kind of the face of Level Up for a little bit. Big body Javier Bardal, he's really good. He's on there. It's a lot of good talent that comes up on Level Up that I feel like they need the exposure. They're the kind of the face again of the brand, but you never know who you're going to see. Like, for example, Jensen was going kind of through his rebranding on Level Up. So I always tell people to watch Level Up. It's something you don't want to miss. It's something worth the watch. Another thing that was worth the watch, y'all, was this match. Going back to recapping Roadblock, you had the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka, defend their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships belts against the Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxton. And y'all, they fed other people in the process, fed the homeless, made sure the kitchen was clean and all the pots and pans were put away. They cleaned. They ate and they cleaned house. This match was so good. This match was really good. All the high flyers in one place. Good to see Kairi and Asuka in action always. But even Tatum is improving working with Lyra. And that's why I like them together. She's really improving while working with Lyra. Lyra, like I said, I feel like Lyra's really slept on because she's not like the most overhyped thing. She's an illusion. And she's really working to prove that, listen, I'm going to defend this belt. I'm going to show you what I have. I'm going to show you my agility. She's not just like Becky 2.0. A lot of people were saying that. I hate seeing that. She could be her own person without being Becky. I don't like that comparison. I feel like if y'all watch her on NXT a lot more, y'all would see her more for what she was, more for who she is, and not call her that. But I enjoyed this match through and through. It was a great matchup. It was so good. But unfortunately, they didn't pick up the win. It was still a lot of miscommunication on Lyra and Tatum's part, which I know they're trying to probably break them up. Everybody's waiting for Tatum to just black on Lyra, kiss her. I don't know what they're waiting for. They're still waiting on something to happen. But one thing that I've been waiting to happen, y'all, that finally happened was Roxanne flipped her shit. She lost her shit. Way too happy to see that happen. I was happier than I was supposed to be. In the midst of this match being so great, it was something I was waiting for. I'm glad it wasn't no backstage segment. I'm really glad it wasn't. And we talk about Roadblock. We think about where Roxanne was last year. If you think about the sweet symphony of it all, Roxanne Perez had a great match with the former NXT UK Women's Champion when Roxanne was defending her title with Mito Satomura, the final boss herself, and they put on a great match. They put on it wasn't even an exhibition. It was just them having a great one-on-one match. And at the end of that match, Roxanne passed out. And then she was deemed unable to compete. She didn't lose her championship belt. She was deemed unable to compete. So they had to have that huge tournament. That huge tournament happened where they had a ladder match at Stand Deliver. And that was when Roxanne didn't even get it back at Stand Deliver. It happened to go to Indy Hartwell at the time last year, who became for the first time before leaving for SmackDown and NXT Women's Championship. And it's just been a cycle of it. You then had at the time you had her get injured, and when she got drafted to SmackDown, they gave another tournament, and that was the thing that Roxanne had to go because again she never lost championship and blah blah blah, and she didn't even end up making that final. End up going between Lyra and Tiff won, and so on and so forth. It's always been this back and forth thing, and I just find it interesting that's where it was. And then again, Roxanne's probably frustrated because the one time she did finally get a chance to go up against Lyra, it got interrupted by Lola Vice catching in her breakout tournament contract and all this. Like and then on top of that, watching people get to walk in and get a chance at doing something that she knows she feels like she deserves. She deserves to get her belt back the right way. She feels like she shouldn't even have to like get the belt, but she understands politics, so she's diving in for the belt. I feel like she just snapped, and it was bound to happen. Listen, we've been waiting it for months. I've been the biggest advocator in saying she's crying too damn much, girl. Just say, listen, I want my shit back. Just go and get it back. I've been the biggest advocator of you talking too damn much. Do something or do nothing. And this week she decided to do something. She came out after the match. She wiped Tatum out of the way and just went straight for Lyra and said, you're going to feel what I felt. You're going to be in the position I was in last year. Like I said, it's a sweet symphony. It's what happened. Basically injured Lyra. We don't know the status of Lyra right now. She did that stomp on the arm was strong. I don't know if your arm's supposed to bend like that. She exposed the metal and kind of stepped on her hand. But Roxanne gave you crazy. She gave her crazy. Everybody keeps saying AJ Lee her mama. Listen, AJ Lee wasn't doing nothing like that. I'm just saying. AJ Lee was more like tormenting and skipping you and annoying the piss out of you. She wasn't attacking you backstage and stomping your hand down. Like she gave crazy. And listen, and it was funny on social media. And shout out to CM Punk because CM Punk was sitting there endorsing it. And CM Punk even like retweeted what happened. And she tweeted out like punch people in the face, and Punk liked it. I'm like, listen, sir, you and your allegations, stay over there. Stay on left hand side. You stay put. You go away. You ain't beating the allegations of attacking people, so you stay put. But she lost it. She went off her rocker. She said, I'm tired of you. Y'all all tested me. Y'all all pushing me. Y'all could have left me alone when I punched Ren and I I open hand smacked the hell Drita mob wife style out of Ariana Grace. Y'all didn't want to leave me alone. Y'all made me this. She pulled the Carmelo. She basically told y'all made her this way without saying it. And she decided to just flip out on all you. Instead of saying, listen, you made me this way and sit in a chair and sit all arminess in the dark. She basically said, you did this. You made me this way. Y'all made me crazy. Y'all told me I should chill out. I broke a TV last week. You should have seen that I was going to lose my mind this week. This is all on you. It's your fault. I'm tired of satisfying you. Even when I think about it, I even have to eat my own words and saying that the promo that she gave Lyra felt more like for someone else. No, it all is coming full circle. And that's why we watch NXT. NXT is the most consistent storyline telling blueprint out there, so much that the main roster is following it. Like they're starting to also, in my opinion, get more consistent with their storylines. And that's how you know who's running everything, who's running the show. It's not just we're going to pop up in 3 months and make this happen and make everybody invest in it just to have a match. No, it's long-term booking. Do I think we're going to see Roxanne and Lyra go again and Stand and Deliver? Yes. Do I want to see a tournament now happen to where if Roxanne does get her championship back for some odd reason and Lyra comes out and she says, no, I'm going to get this fair and square. Fight me. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight your mama. I'm going to fight your inner demon that's down crazy. I don't care who I got to fight. I'm going to get my belt back. I would love to see it all happen. Stand and Deliver is about, I want to say, we're 3 weeks out, Stand and Deliver. Be interesting, very interesting to see what happens with it. Rakarsha knows I'm being messy. I know Rakarsha. Like she is it, but it's true. Like you made her my like y'all made me do this. Y'all flipped the script on me, so I'm flipping the script on you. I know for a fact I'm gonna like heal Roxanne though. I know for a fact. Tell me in the comments or not if you like heal Roxanne. Tell me if you think this is long overdue. Tell me if you think like, no, she's so sweet and she's so cute and she shouldn't be a heel and blah, blah. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know how you feel about it. But like I said, I know for a fact I'm excited to see it. Just like I was excited to talk about this and see the last segment that happened of the night. Of course, I've been waiting for this all night. Tony D'Angelo ain't playing no more games. He ain't playing with Shaw. He ain't playing with your mama. He ain't playing with anybody else who thinks that they're going to come in and run NXT because he's the Don. There can only be one Don, and Carmelo's trying it, but he ain't ruling it with Iron Fist enough. He's making it all about him. So I've never ever been disappointed in a Carmelo Hayes and Tony D'Angelo match. It's actually the second match they've had together. They were really good when it comes to chemistry. So to see them have a number one contendership for the NXT championship, even the way that the Don came in last week and was like, listen, I've had to deal with you running your mouth for 9 months about how you deserve this and you deserve that. And you're him and the NXT championship is yours. And he's like, no, forget all that. Forget all of it. I'm the Don. I run things here. And I'm going to do what the Don does. And I can get things quicker, moving and faster than you. And just like that, security cleared. Ava was like, listen, take my chair, speak your piece, cleared the floor and was like, listen, I deserve a chance at the NXT championship. So instead of you sitting here making Ilya sign another 5th match between you two, for you two to be going back and forth for the NXT championship, I'm going to cut that all off and I'm going to come in here. And it led to Ilya going, you know what? I need a fresh face. I need somebody new. Let's do it. Let's dance. Let's go to the dance together. But you got to dance past him to get to me first. And that's what happened here. You had the number one contendership for the NXT championship. And again, like I said, never been ever disappointed in a Tony D'Angelo and Carmelo Hayes match. They're both very technical. They both aren't afraid to fly. A lot of people don't really notice. They just started really noticing Tony D'Angelo, but I feel like he's also been the face that runs the place down at NXT. He's one, again, the last of the 2.0s left. I feel like a main roster, if the family were to go to main roster, it would work. I think they're done splitting up people that come from NXT to main roster. They tried to do that with Legado Fantasma. That didn't work out. So they only brought in the 3 of them, which I didn't understand that. I felt like Elektra Lopez should have been with Legado Fantasma all in all. I understand they were trying to make her do like the singles thing. I didn't really like that too much, but in all, they're making it work on a SmackDown roster because they're literally having, the Latinos fight each other, which is working. I don't condone violence. I know Latin Heritage Month is coming up. Listen, I'm here for it. I'm here to watch it all. Again, Tony D'Angelo, even if you were to become the Don of NXT with that belt on his shoulder, it would mean business. That faction would be untouchable. They're making factions, trying to make factions. And then again, I want to see where that goes. I want to see so much more happen with Tony D'Angelo. I feel like he deserves it. I feel like the match with him and Ilya, he's the only guy. And you know what's funny? When he said that in his promo, like for the last like this long, I didn't realize that it's literally been Carmelo and Ilya having a best out of 3 and 4 this whole time. And Trick, the match with him and Ilya and Trick, was a break And I was happy to see a break. And that's probably why that match is so exciting to me. But we all know what happened. The how did we get here of Mr. Whoop That Trick coming back was the result of his boy turn on him. And then it's interesting to see what's gonna happen tonight on the broadcast, like how that's gonna go. Because imagine you're laid up in the hospital for something your friend did to you. Shout out to Gersh in the building. Gersh, we talking about the finale. We talking about Whoop That Trick, honey. Talking about Mr. Whoop That Trick coming back. Imagine being laid up in the hospital with your friend talking so much, or somebody you thought was your friend talking so much smack about you, and you can't say nothing. That had to amplify so much for Trick to finally be like, listen, I'm done waiting. I'm not waiting for Stand Deliver. You want to rain on my parade? I'm gonna rain on yours. He worked the deal, and Trick is good at working deals, better than his friend ever was. Let's be real about it. I'm gonna work out a deal to where I'm gonna come back and get my lick back, but I'm gonna wait for you to handle this business. You say that you don't need me no more. You say that I was bringing you down. You say that I was waiting before you. You say that I'm the reason why you're this way, or I turned your back on you. Fine. I'm gonna wait till the match happens. And Tony D'Angelo was smart to let the music play because it wasn't something that Carmelo was expecting, although I think Carmelo was expecting it, but he also had security laid out for that reason. And even with and without security, it still didn't work because Carmelo still lost the match. No hype man, no Trick, nobody by his side. He still lost the match. And so for Tony to go, listen, I'm sorry I had to play a little trick on you, but I had to get what I had to get done. I now got my number one contendership. It's me and Ilya at Stand Deliver. Now I got my business done, but you also got to take care of business. And that's when we finally see the return of Mr. Trick E. Williams himself. Mr. Trick James, bitch, was in the building, attacked, didn't waste no time, smack it down on his former best friend. And of course, we don't know what's going to happen at Stand Deliver. All I know is that I'm so excited to see Trick back. He looked good, y'all. I know I'm not supposed to be look at wrestlers that way, but yeah, he looked good. The rest did what it was supposed to do. Listen, I didn't know there was like a Rumshot community of girls. I dived myself into a TikTok hole of girls that are like, for Trick and Carmelo. no, Gersh, and that's my point. There's a community is a community of men. There's men. Listen, the men like them some Trick too, and I saw it. I seen it with my own eyes. I seen it with my own eyes. They like them. They like Trick. And you can't blame them because let me go back. Just look at him glistening. Like, listen, the men them want the workout secrets and the women them want him. Let's just put it that way. Case closed on all of it. And it's okay to oogly got like a wrestler. It's okay to like them as long as you're not pervy and talking about I'm gonna find your whole address and stalk you. As long as you're not on that, you're fine. I'm so sick of, listen, I know this TikTok trend that's going around, like something I've been afraid to say, but I'm not afraid to say it no more. If you thirsting over a wrestler, do your thing. If that's your thing you like to do it. If you like watching Jada Parker because she's attractive, do your thing. It got nothing to do with me. It's not my business. If you like Trick Williams and his physique, sorry, that's your business. As long as you're not being rude, creepy, and insulting with it and nasty, it's okay. They're supposed to look good to you. They're not gonna get the attention. Let me say it the right way. They got the attention of the talent, right? I'm so attracted to how Trick Williams has improved himself. He's a former NFL player. If you don't know his story, he actually played for Philly. Shout out to Philly. So, and oh my God, that's so full circle. I just thought about that. The fact that he is about to be a Stand Deliver across the road from where he used to play in the NFL, and he's going to have a match. full circle for him, and I'm glad he's back in time. I feel like that's what they were probably waiting for. They were waiting for Stand Deliver to bring him back. But that's gonna be a full circle moment because I remember him having the interview, and he literally said that as soon as he was done with the NFL, he knew wrestling was something he wanted to do. And look at him now, he's thriving. So if you're not attracted to them, you're attracted to them, and then you get attracted to the story of who they are. Let me put it that way. But a lot of people are attracted to who they are, and that's fine. A lot of people, when they become attracted to a wrestler, they looking at their background and looking like, okay, who's this person? A lot of people, like, for example, with Jada Parker, she's a very beautiful young lady, but for her to be an LSU alumni with a great record in her athletics and to become a WWE superstar, that's a great improvement. Like, and she's killing it right now. You would have never known that she was playing a completely different sport because she's been putting in that work. So kudos to her. A lot of people have their eye on her now. Some appropriate, some not. Again, that's your business. Same thing with Trick Williams. I'm happy to see Trick Williams go in the way he did with that championship match. It was so close. He's been doing so good. They've already made him a breakout tournament. Not breakout. He was already a North American champion. He was your Deadline Iron Survivor. They have a lot of faith in him. Like, for the higher ups on the main roster to already be like, he has the crowd hyped. We need him sooner than later. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. A lot of people, what attracted me to Carmelo Hayes was the swag. So happy that he's done with this. This is his last dance with his best friend. He's literally going to be on main roster. He's going to kill main roster. Same thing with Braun Breaker. You can't be afraid. Listen, we attracted to who we attracted to. Like I said, as long as it's not on some weird, like, I'm going to be outside your hotel stalking you type stuff, because a lot of y'all need to calm down with that. That's weird. Don't do that in Philly, because Philly got enough going on and people like to call the cops there. I'm going to be really honest with you. Don't do that in Philly. Don't go to nobody's hotel and away from the lobby or anything like that. Don't do that. That's weird. Full disclaimer. Personally, I hope they close Stand Deliver. I hope Carmelo and Trick close Stand Deliver. I understand Ilya and Tony. That's going to be a banger of a match, but I hope this closes Stand Deliver. I need this rivalry to close Stand Deliver. I need this. If it's going to be a send off for Carmelo, it needs to happen. If it's a passing of the torch to Trick Williams being the face of NXT, along with the people that deserve to be the face of NXT, it needs to happen at Stand Deliver. But all in all, that was Deadline, y'all. A lot happens. A lot happened last week. A lot's happening tonight. Tonight, I know for a fact you have go back to that comment. Yeah, if you're in Philly, yeah, just like, if you see a wrestler, say what's up. You can yell whoop that Trick to him. I got you, especially if everybody's gonna be at Wale Mania. Like, respect the talent, but just don't be like weird. Don't be creepy. Don't be waiting for them in the airport. Like, who wants to wait in the airport in Philly first? No offense. Love Philly. I'm not waiting in the airport for a wrestler to come and sign an autograph. I'm not doing that. That's just like, it's going to be a long weekend for them. They're going to be tired. They don't want to, they love you, but there's a cutoff time for a lot of people. I know me. My social battery depletes really quickly. And I'd be like, all right, time to go home. Like, time for me to either fall asleep in this chair or time for me to go home. It's not a disrespectful thing. It's my social battery has run out and I'm tired thing. So it happens. Just a full disclaimer, just be yourselves around these wrestlers. They appreciate you. I know Access is coming up. They're having WWE World. Like I said, I know I'm making jokes about me putting on my lip gloss for CM Punk, but if I see him, I'll be like, I'm so glad you're back. I'm going to remind him that I told people he was going to come back. Me and him probably gonna have a quick little laugh. I'm gonna get my little picture in. I'm gonna get my little autograph. I'm gonna be on my way. I'm not gonna follow him to his bus. I'm not gonna do any of that stuff because that's weird. Don't be weird this weekend. Word of advice. Let me see. I've made eye contact with Theory a couple of times. It kept pushing. It's not that hard. Yeah, it's not. It's not. And some of these wrestlers are really nice. They love the interaction with their fans because their fans make them who they are. But some of y'all do the most. It's not rocket science. It's be respectful. A lot of you have probably not had great interactions with a lot of wrestlers in the past. I'm sorry, but there's a correlation that goes with that I'm not going to explain on this show. Probably going to have to tune into Thirsty Thursdays next week to find out. We'll see what happens. I'm going to tell a lot of stories about interactions I've had with wrestlers in the past, a lot of interactions I've had with people in the community in the past. That just a word of advice, just be yourselves, like be cool, be respectful, but be yourself. You're there at WrestleMania weekend to have fun. You're there to link up with people that you haven't seen in a long time. I'm so excited to see a lot of people. I know a lot of people already got there, whether they're doing press or whether they're the content creators that already got their ticket. I'm excited to take pictures. Like I show you, if you have followed me on Instagram, I got my chalk line ready. I got some stuff from WWE Shop Zone. I got some stuff that I had to get on Prime from Amazon. Like I'm so ready for the weekend. It's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be the 40th year anniversary. The matches that are coming up that are being announced, like we're about to have a tag team match with The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody and Seth. That's crazy. Like it's just going to be a month's time. All the people getting into the Hall of Fame. I'm so happy that the Hall of Fame lineup just looks so beautiful. And I know there's more to come. You know what I'm excited to? I'm happy that they are letting the media outlets announce the Hall of Fame. Shout out to The Ringer, who was the publication that broke up that part of the Wyndham family. They're also going to be headed into the tag team is going to be headed into the Hall of Fame. The Wyndham family, part of them is going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm glad they were able to break that news out. That was beautiful to me for them to air that call with Triple H. Shout out to a lot of these publications done that. Like Variety just announced that Muhammad Ali announced that he was going to be in the Hall of Fame this year. That's exciting. He was in season 2K. Shout out to 2K. There's a lot going on. I know 2K has events. I know there's Wildly Mania, there's World, indie shows going on left and right. Stand Deliver the moment before. If you're not going to WrestleMania, there's other things happening in the area. It's just going to be a good time. Be safe, be cool, be calm, collective. If you see me, tell me your name. I'm respectfully, I don't know for everybody, but I'm a good time. I'm chill. If we link up, it'll be so happy to see everybody show their beautiful faces outside of me just talking to a camera. Outside of those wrestling girls, of having the fan club and all that stuff, it'd be a great time. Real quick, I want to thank everybody in the chat for always coming in. Yes. Shout out to Gersh for being one of the first guests on the show. I'm so ready for Stand Deliver I'm so ready for Stand Deliver. I'm so excited, you guys. I'm really working so hard to make sure that I give you guys the best pre-show experience. It's all coming to full circle right about now. It's going to be a little hard for me because yes, your girl, like I said, will be in Philly for the week. But I don't live too far. My week kicks off at Barclays Center the night before for that Raw before the week starts. That's where my week starts. I'm going to have a busy week. There's going to be a lot going on. There's a lot to do in Philly in itself, even without wrestling going on. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time seeing everybody. It's going to be a good time creating content with my friends. I'm just excited for it all. But I want to thank you guys for being here on this version of Watch What Happens NXT. I know I was really quick with it. I'm going to tap into who my wrestler of the week is. And it's not somebody that you guys expect. My who's next up for the week is actually is Tony D'Angelo. I felt like with Stand and Deliver coming up and him finally getting another chance at the I'm technically let's be real technical about it. I have two Watch What Happens Next wrestlers this week because I feel like they both need the recognition that they deserve in order to move forward. I feel like Tatum with this storyline, she's not forgotten. The way she's been able to pull off everything she's doing, from following Lyra to being Lyra's biggest fan to literally pushing anybody out of the way. It's literally getting in her way, like getting in the way of Lyra not being champion. I feel like it's been great. I feel like character development wise, where Tatum Paxton started, she was kind of like lost in herself. Like she was always partnering with somebody. I remember there was a moment where she was teaming up with Ivy Nile. I thought that was going somewhere, didn't go anywhere. There's so many things this girl was going through, and for her to kind of dive in and just take it, it started with the feather and her kind of following Lyra around and just being like, you know, I'm like, I'm obsessed with you and your illusion. And that's what's supposed to do. That's what Lyra's whole thing with the bird and the fire and the promo, also all that stuff's supposed to do. You're supposed to be in the allure of Lyra Valkyria, and Tatum fell for it. But look at where it's gotten her. It's gotten her matches. She's trying to do her best to be friends, and it's creepy. And I even see like they did the challenge on TikTok together where it was the Mina Long song, the twin, where have you been? Like they even been playing it up like that on social media, and it's working. Like it takes something like that too, and a lot of people don't notice that, but it's also bringing Lyra out in a different way. Like it can't just be Lyra defending the belt week in and week out, which works because I think Lyra is somebody who's underestimated a lot. But when I look at it now, it's also giving her a lot of character as well. Like the character in Lyra is really not forgotten. Like I think this is kind of what Lyra really needed, so that people notice her as well, because a lot of people weren't really paying attention to Lyra. She was that girl that was at the same time a home advantage, or the same home advantage as Becky. And she's Becky's, like she's second up with Becky. That's what it gave. And you can say, no, that's not true, and blah, blah, blah. Listen, that's what people were thinking. I'm going to say what people are thinking all the time. A lot of people, including me, thought that, but I feel like this week, it took for me to realize that Tatum probably brought out that part in Lyra for it to be like, okay, you're crazy, you're bothering me, you're triggering me. You know what? Maybe if I treat you how you want to be treated, or I give you the attention that you need from me, you won't possibly rip my head off for not liking you back. And listen, it worked, because remember, the reason why they had the tag team championship in the first place was because Lyra told her, listen, if you sit back here and you don't interrupt anything that I'm doing, you and I can do something, which is something she wanted. Lyra was like, okay, it's gonna be really hard for me to sit. And I just love, she's like, it's gonna be really hard for me to not help you or walk out or do anything like that, but I'm going to sit here and I'm gonna listen to you. And she had to sit on her little like lone feather and sit there and watch Lyra do her thing. And it worked because it got the match. So now it's kind of like Lyra's embraced, like, okay, maybe this girl isn't as crazy. Maybe if I keep her closer to me, she won't, it's less likely that she'll flip out on me. Or if she can flip out on me, I'll see what happens next. So to tell a story with just that, when you've been in a limbo for so long, it makes me really proud of Tatum and seeing how far she's gotten. I hope there's more to it. I hope we do get a match out of it. I hope that it, even if part of me too, it can go a little longer. Let's be real. I like them together. I like how if we go back really quick to when they first had like even became a tag team, to be quite honest, it was kind of given like, this is freaking me out. This is creepy. Why are y'all matching? Why is what's the name following her around? It's working. It's working. Lyra doesn't. It's one less thing for Lyra to bite if this girl's around her. So Tatum, for that being said, for you finally getting what you deserve, and that's Lyra's full undivided attention. She is my who's up NXT for the week as a female. Now for the males, of course, it's gonna be Tony D'Angelo. I know that I said that I'm enjoying Dijak. He's the most improved, but Dijak's done this song and dance before. He was in front of the small audience when it was Black and Gold, so he knows how to wow the crowd and do what he has to do to be a top performer. With Tony D'Angelo, I feel like this may be his me season. I understand he's trying to get the family back together. He's trying to make sure the Don, people remember the Don. And that's another thing too. People forgot about him, and that's what bothered me a lot. I don't like that people were forgetting about him. I feel like he deserved, like I said, he's another person that really deserved more than what he was getting. I'm going to put his picture up because I feel like this reminds me that he's the boss and he could put on a suit and he could be a clean guy. But for him to sit back after losing the tag team titles and not say stats, like it's your fault when we lost, or blame anybody. Instead, he sat down in front of his cappuccino and he said, we got to get back to business. We lost our iron to gold. That's why we lost the tag team championships. Maybe we need to go a different route. Maybe if I go back to being the leading guy, it won't be, we won't be forgotten. Let's put it that way. And now that they've gotten Crucifino with them, and now he's going after this NXT championship, it really might be Tony D'Angelo's season. Like, it's going to be interesting to watch this stand deliver because Ilya is not a joke. We've watched, if you're on social media, you're not blind. That man trains like he's training for a gauntlet and a warrior sprint and a CrossFit challenge that's happening all in one day. He trains like it's no tomorrow. That man is a beast. Like with a capital B. There's no way you can't convince me, though, that Tony D'Angelo's not done his homework and is not going to be ready for Stand and Deliver. If Ilya goes on to Stand and Deliver to win this, that means that other people are going to be waiting in the end to see not only what is next for Ilya, but also what's next for Tony D'Angelo, because you can't be the boss and lose. Is it going to be something that's going to be, is he going to take all his talents to the main roster? Is he going to leave Tony Stacks in charge down at NXT? Is he going to get ruthless and get dirty and pull out his Tony Soprano, be Tony Soprano, Tony D'Angelo? We don't know, but I feel like it's good to see the boss, the Don, back on top of NXT. It feels great to see Tony D'Angelo finally get another chance at the NXT championship. And that's the match that's happening at Stand and Deliver. I, for one, am excited to see that match happen too. It's going to be a banger. It's going to be a slob knock, especially the way that Homeboy trains. Ilya, I don't know. I told y'all, I tell people all the time, yo, Ilya is different. The man built different. He's somebody that definitely, and I'm glad to see him get his flowers. Like, people need to keep in mind, you don't have to worry about Ilya, because this is the same Ilya when Walter Gunther was UK NXT champion. That's the man who dethroned him, Ilya. And now y'all see how he works out. Y'all see how he works in the ring, period. Ain't nothing to worry about with that man at all. Like this, like Ilya could literally, even if he was to lose this belt today and they put him in matches on NXT, he could become a 2-time champion. The way this man works, and we all know why he's working, is provided. Like they've dived into his storyline so many times that now that you see how he works for it, you respect his strength even more. Like, he is a Super Saiyan. I'm sorry. Ilya is a Super Saiyan. Shout out to the creator of Dragon Ball Z. Rest in peace to him. Listen, he's Super Saiyan 24/7. That man is trained to fight the gods, the devil, Thanos, the Fire Lord, Goku, and Jesus. Listen, he trained to fight everybody. He's somebody that I already joke. I'm like, listen, if we in the districts in the Hunger Games and they tell me to choose a partner and they say he going to the Hunger Games, I will volunteer myself as tribute. Because I know I ain't going to die. I know I ain't going to die. Listen, if he ends me, that means we make it to the finals. I know I ain't going to die. Because that man is fighting for his life. He's fighting for his kid's life. He's fighting for Triple H's life. He's fighting for everybody's life. So he's also, but enough about Ilya. Tony, I'm waiting to see what he's definitely going to do up against Ilya Dragunov that Sunday. I'm so excited about Stand Deliver season, y'all. Like, y'all don't understand. A lot of people, and I hate that people don't like this new NXT. I've heard people say, "You'll never catch me going to an NXT show to see a Braun Breaker," and I'm sorry, that sucks for you. Cause it's a lot of fun. Not for nothing. If you like to get up early in the morning, a lot of people that went to Stand Deliver last year had a blast. I'm sorry that you don't have enough flavor or you're not passionate. Like, listen, people like what they like. If they want to sit back and think of nostalgia, there's shows for that. But you also have to look at the future, because you're missing out on seeing who's going to take over when Roman Reigns can't take another day off, or when you don't see The Miz coming back on TV for a while, or you need somebody who isn't the entire Raw roster, who has not beat Gunther. When you need somebody that's up those NXT people up. So I'm sorry if you don't know who they are when you get to the main roster because you missed your opportunity to watch NXT. I'm so sorry for you, but that's on you. I run this pre-show, so that y'all get familiar with who's who, so that you're not lost in the sauce. So I want to thank everybody for coming in and watching with me. Listen, like I said, I'm gonna dive into one more question in the comments. How long does WWE plan for Carmelo Trick feud? I think this is gonna go on past Stand Deliver. I'm gonna leave on that note. I think that Trick, and because he's also somebody who I said is next up, I think that feud's not done at Stand Deliver. We still have, now that Stand Deliver, even before Stand Deliver, Heat Wave is coming up. I believe it's Heat Wave. I believe also Battleground. Yeah, Battleground and Heat Wave coming up, and we need substance after Stand Deliver. They could be playing the back and forth game for a while. They could be songing and dance, because like they've been partners, but we don't know how they are as each other's dance partners, like how they are together in the ring. We've never seen that, and I think that's what makes this feud exciting. It's gonna be exciting. We've seen it before. We joke around about, it's Triple H and Shawn, and Marty and Shawn, and blah 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 blah. But I don't care about none of that. I don't care about all that. I care about seeing how two people who basically brought each other up on the roster, who have literally did, like, again, the last of the 2.0s, they were literally the two powerhouses. They're now Pimpin' and Jordan right now. That's how they are. Pimpin' and Jordan. That's who they are right now. And I want to see Pimpin' and Jordan go at it. That's how I feel about it. I don't care who they're emulating. I don't care who the old feud was. They're basically their own version of Rock and Stone Cold. They're basically their own version of John and Randy. That's what I want to see. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to show you guys what I have planned for the Stand Deliver pre-show. I thank you guys so much for staying in with me before NXT starts. Sorry. If you are interested, I know you're going to be interested. I'm going to be talking more about the NXT Championship belts with the Wrestling Realms, Brandon, the belt guy, on their YouTube channel. I will be leaving that link in my Twitter and on my Instagram. I can't wait to talk about this belt. For the women's belt, it has such long hands. Like I said, it's a lot of history. And right now, with Lyra being their champion, I have a lot to say, because I feel like she's bringing interest to the belt. Again, I feel like she's been doing a great job at champion, but there are other people that paved the way for her to be there. So I'm going to be diving into that. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you guys next week. There's a lot that's going to be happening towards Stand Deliver. The guests that I'm going to announce, I did already post a flyer for everyone to just stay tuned, be patient with me. Like I said, I'm working on it. Gonna be some new exciting faces, people that also love NXT. The way I'm doing this show is, if you love the brand, if you have respect for the people who have paved the way for NXT, you're going to be able to tap in with this show. You're going to enjoy this show. It's going to be something. I feel like pre-shows are one a dozen. I'm blessed. I'm so thankful for all of you who take the time, whether you're on X, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Twitch. I'm very blessed, and I'm very happy that you guys are enjoying the content, because I work hard. I want people to realize there's a lot of crems. Like NXT, like I said, is one of the longest consistent shows, and there's people that do pre-shows. I want to thank everybody who also does an after show. Shout out to Shay and Kat over at, they do their own show. They do the NXT after show right after NXT. Shout out to this Shaker's Den with Santana and Nikki Booski. They also do a post show. Shout out to everybody who does a watch show. Shout out to Demon Diva. Shout out to Issa, who always consistently doing watch show. Shout out to Gersh, who I had on the show with me, who did a pre-show with me. We had a blast. Even tapped into watching a little bit of the show itself. He does a show after NXT. He recaps everything that happens in WWE. Shout out to him and his partner. Shout out to everybody hyping up the brand. I feel like I said, NXT is just, it's something that is great to watch. It's a great filler show, but also it's a third brand to me. I know it's developmental. I know it's meant to be developmental, but like I said, if you don't watch it and you don't know who, you're like, who's that coming on SmackDown? That's on you. Who's next coming on Raw? That's on you. Because all you had to do is watch NXT, see the greatness, see all these talented young people coming up and giving you a show. Listen, the company has enough faith to give them shows on the road. Heatwave for the longest time was a 4 TV television series. Now it's gonna be a part of Money in the Bank weekend in Toronto. And you mean to tell me that's not something that piques your interest, something that you might want to, again, that's on you. You don't want to watch it. That's fine. Go ahead and miss out on it, child. I was the same way before too, and I'm not gonna miss it. And look at me, I'm doing a pre-show. I was the first person to say, I don't know if I can fall in love with like Braun Breaker or Roxanne Perez or Lyra the same way. And going to Deadline was the most exciting thing I could have possibly did as a WWE fan. It was worth it. The production, everything, it was worth it. So make sure if you start watching NXT today, make sure you're here, you're tuning in via those wrestling girls. I want to shout out once again Chris the B and Queen PR for allowing me to be on this platform. If you're not watching on those wrestling girls, I thank you from X. I thank you from YouTube. I thank you from all across the globe. I thank you from the West to the East Coast. I thank you from somewhere even out in China. If you're going to be watching the replays, I do post the replays every week on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. The replays for this stays under those wrestling girls channel. Without further ado though, I'm gonna head out because I have another show to be on. It is per usual your honorary wrestling girls, Sandal B. I want to thank you. I want to bless all of you for staying here with me. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. So without further ado, I'll see you guys over at the Wrestling World YouTube channel for a great episode of Watch What Happens in NXT. So we're going to sign out with talking about Mr. Whoop That Trick, and I will see y'all later. Who can follow in those footsteps? And can it make and break both of these teams?
I think Baron Corbin and Braun are going to take it, and it's going to cause even more tension amongst Mello and Trick.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. That's how I see it.
I love that, but I think I'm going to go with the reverse.
Oh.
I think they win it. I think Trick and Mello Gang win, and then the greed starts to creep in. And then there's this thing, well, this should be enough. We tag team, we got this. And so that's why I'm gonna go with Trick and Mello Gang tonight.
All right.
You
P, your
see me
money's
dancing
on
over
Braun
here. We dancing and vibing. Why? Because we got Trick Williams theme song stuck in my head. Shout out to Josiah Williams, Wrestle and Flow, who dropped verses